Hello, students. Today, we will begin our journey to understand a very important idea, development. Now, you may have heard this word many times, but what does it really mean? What does it mean for a person or for a whole country to develop? Let's explore this together. Just look at this picture. We see different people in different life situations. For each one of them, the idea of progress or development is going to be very different. It's very personal. What one person considers a better life, another might not. So, to understand this topic properly, this is the path we will follow in our lesson today. We'll start with different goals for different people, then discuss national development, how we use income to measure it, and how countries are compared. Then we'll get a hint of the bigger picture, and finally, a summary. Okay, so let's start with our first topic. Does the word development mean the same thing to everyone? Well, as we are about to see, the answer is not at all. Think about it. For a landless laborer in a village, development might mean having more days of work, getting better wages, and a good school for his children. But for a prosperous farmer, the goals are very different. He might want higher prices for his crops, and maybe to send his children to study abroad. A student in a city wants a good job, and a girl from a rich family, she might just want the same freedom that her brother gets. So you see, everyone has different goals. Now, here's where things get a little complicated. Sometimes one person's development can actually become a problem for someone else. Their goals can clash. Let me give you an example. An industrialist might want a big dam to be built. For him, that's development because it will create more electricity for his factories. But what about the local tribal people who have lived on that land for generations? For them, the dam means losing their homes and their land. So for them, it is not development, it's destruction. And this brings us to a very, very important point. Please remember this. What may be development for one person may not be development for the other. It may even be destructive. So, this leads to a big question. If everyone has different goals, and sometimes these goals are in conflict, how do we decide what is best for the entire country? How can a whole nation move forward together? You see, a country cannot follow thousands of different development plans at the same time. It has to choose one path. So how can we find a path that is fair and just for everyone? This is what we mean by national development. It means choosing a path that benefits the largest number of people, not just a small group. It means improving the lives of as many citizens as possible in a fair way. All right, so now that we have an idea of what national development means, the next question is, how do we measure it? How can we compare different countries? For that, we need a common measuring stick, or a yardstick. If you look back at all those different goals we discussed, one thing is quite common. Most people want to earn more money. Why? Because a better income helps them buy the things they need for a good life. Things like food, shelter, education, and healthcare. And because income is so important to each individual, it is used as one of the most important ways to measure and compare the development of different countries. The general idea is that a country with a higher income is more developed. But how exactly do we use income for this comparison? Is it as easy as just adding up all the money a country makes? Well, let's find out. Now, one way could be to just compare the total income of two countries. But that's not a very good method. You see, countries have very different population sizes. A country with a huge population will naturally have a much higher total income. This makes it a very unfair comparison. So, to solve this problem, we use something called per capita income. Students, this is a very important term, so please remember it. Per capita income is simply the average income, and we calculate it by dividing the total income of the country by its total population. Let's take a very simple example so you can understand it clearly. Suppose there is a country with a total income of 1,000 rupees, and the population of his country is 10 people. So to find the per capita income, we will divide the total income, which is 1,000, by the total population, which is 10. 1,000 divided by 10 gives us 100, so the per capita income is 100 rupees. Now, this method is so useful that a major international organization called the World Bank uses this exact method, per capita income, to classify all the countries in the world. It helps them group countries into categories, like high-income countries or low-income countries. So, where does India fit in? Well, according to the World Bank's data for the year 2023, India's per capita income was around $10,030. This number places our country in the low-middle income category. So, we now have a very useful measure, per capita income. But, is it a perfect measure? Does this average number really tell us everything about a country's development? Let's investigate that. Please look at this table very carefully. We have two imaginary countries here, country A and country B. If you look at the last column, you can see that both countries have the exact same average income of $10,000. So, does that mean they are equally developed?
Well, probably not. In country A, most people have a similar income. But look at country B. Here, one person is extremely rich while everyone else is very poor. This is the biggest problem with using averages. Averages can hide these big differences in how the income is distributed among the people.
So, what do we learn from this? We learn that while income is a very useful starting point, it does not tell us the full story. A person's well-being depends on other important things too, like their health and their education. These are also crucial for development.
And this leaves us with a very important question to think about. If average income can be misleading, what other factors should we look at to get a true picture of a country's development? We will explore this important question in our next lesson. Thank you, students.